I'm Glenn W. Worthington. Thank you for joining me for another edition of Genuine Diamonds in Arkansas YouTube channel. I want to show you some rocks from my collection. I know I showed you on another video every rock in the collection, but I just want to point out this is Lamproite. This is Lamproite from the crater of Diamond State Park, a huge chunk. Also over here, this is a big piece of Lamproite as well. These are Lamproite specimens. This is Lamproite core from, we core drilled the Timberlands, and they set up a bit and they drill down hundreds of feet in the ground and retrieve the core so they can analyze the rock type. This has some calcite veining in it. This also has some calcite veining in it as well. So it's cracked. After the igneous rock in place, it cracked and the cracks filled with calcite. So hot fluids wash through it. But this is core drill specimens from Lamproite in southwest Arkansas, Pike County, Arkansas. So just a few miles northeast of Crater of Diamond State Park, within 3 miles. All this Lamproite was recovered, core drilled, and a lot of others. This is a specimen of Lamproite from the Crater of Diamonds, Lamproite from the Crater of Diamonds. Some of it is greenish, some yellow. This big one over here is blue. It comes in different colors because they say there were multiple pyroclastic events. See how blue these are here? Look, for example, a difference in the Lamproite. This is Lamproite from the Crater of Diamond State Park right here. And this is also Lamproite from southwest Arkansas's Crater of Diamond State Park. Very different in color and texture. We're going to talk about some other Lamproite here. I just returned from our pit where we dug outside the Crater of Diamond State Park on private land. My wife and I own it and the mineral rights. So we have permission to dig there. We have all the rights necessary. Now I want to wet these samples. This just came out of the ground. But we'll be able to see the details of the rocks better if they've been wetted. Geologists do this a lot. Some geologists are called rock lickers because they'll get a rock and they want to wet it, so they just either get out their water bottle or lick it with their tongue. But this is an interesting piece. It has a piece of breccia in it. Now, look, it's blue on this side and brown on this side. If you have angular clasts in it, angular components like that, it's considered a breccia. If they were rounded, it would be considered a lapilli. Now look how this has two different colors in one specimen. It's green here and brown here. Well, the green may very well be the Trinity clay that was here when the volcano blew up through that layer of sediment, and it picked it all up in the air because it came probably Mach 1 or Mach 2 and hit the rock that was there. That is definitely Trinity clay. Well, it broke through that clay layer, even if it's hundreds of feet deep, threw it all up in the air and mixed it together. So you can see this breccia, it has angular clasts of Trinity clay and other country rock mixed in with it. And the reason this is good to find a breccia is if volcanic material, kimberlite or lamproite, cools off slowly, the diamonds will resorb out of it. In other words, they will turn to CO2 gas and won't be diamond at all. Or if it cools a little quicker, it will partly resorb and retain part of the diamond but lose some of the diamond weight. But if it mixes with the country rock that is cold in comparison to the igneous rock coming up in the intrusion, the volcanic event, then it helps cool the lamproite quicker. It's like throwing ice cubes in the lemonade. It cools it down, and therefore preserves the size of the diamond so that it doesn't resorb so much, or kind of like if you think of the diamond as an ice cube, it won't melt as much. But there's some interesting clasts inside these specimens. Fresh out of the ground, we took an old antique plow. Because this is hard, we couldn't break it with a shovel or a pick or a rock bar. Well, I tried to break this one, it broke that one. There's a fresh cut, and let me show you this. See this purple and black staining along this side? There was a crack in the lamproite, just a small crack, and manganese leached in there and stained both sides of the rock in that crack. So this is just a thin manganese staining. See, look, it's just paper thin, but that purplish black is manganese, and that's post-volcanic mineralization. So after the volcano, cooled, then it cracked along, as it cooled and cracked, then minerals leached in from above. This is just full of clasts. All kinds of components in there. It's just loaded. So this has a good chance of having diamonds contained inside this rock because it cooled quickly, because it's like throwing ice cubes in a hot drink, cooling it down and preserving the diamonds. So I like seeing all the clasts in there. Now see, wow, there's a crystal inside there. I would love for that to have been a diamond, but it's not. But anyway, you never know what's going to be inside an igneous rock when you break it open. Volcanic lamproite, but that looks to be some calcite in there. But that would have been a cool video to break it open and there's a diamond. But you have to wash. To be commercially viable, you need 5 carats of diamonds per 100 ton. Well, we don't have but a few pounds here, so the chances of breaking open one of these and a diamond being in it is very slim. But it would have been neat. I would like to have done that. See, so this does break apart, and yet it's hard. You can't shovel it out. We tried a rock bar on it, but it is friable. And when we threw it in the scrubber, it broke down. It sounded like 100 tennis shoes in a dryer, but it rattled around and broke up and liberated all the minerals inside of here, and all these clasts came free. And then we were able to run it through the diamond recovery plant. See all the components in here, and they're angular. There's some lapilli, some round, and that happened by it being up in the air and the abrasive action of the volcanic material being airborne and tumbled. It rounded some of the clasts, but this is really beautiful Breccia. I'm excited to see it. So this is very encouraging lamproite. Not all lamproite is created equal. Some have very little diamonds. The lapilli, the tufts, the sandy tufts, seem to have fewer diamonds per 100 ton than in the Breccia. But the Breccia is what you want, and we dug down, and the Breccia is what we got. So some people like me to show, they're interested in collecting rocks. This is a very rare rock specimen. Worldwide, lamproite is rare, and diamondiferous lamproite is even more rare. So, worldwide, only 10% of kimberlites and lamproites have diamonds in them. This is diamondiferous lamproite. So this is the 10% of the lamproite you're looking for. Just interesting specimens. So if you collect rocks, lamproite's neat. What I like about this lamproite is no one's ever looked through it. I've gone to the Crater of Diamonds hundreds of times. I've found 176 diamonds there so far. 2 of them weighed over 2 carats each. And but all that lamproite has been looked through by a couple of million visitors. This lamproite no one has ever touched before. We broke it out of the ground. This is a volcanic rock, and this material has been hardened and cooled in place, and the geologists say about 102 million years ago, give or take a million. It's been laying there undisturbed. No man has ever seen it. No man has ever looked for the diamonds inside this piece of rock because we just busted it up. But 2 mining companies have checked for diamond content in this lamproite nearby, just across the property line. And one company found 17 diamonds in a small sample. Another company later came in and found 17 diamonds, you know, in a few trench samples, many bulk samples that they took. So diamonds and lamproite don't recognize any property lines, and the lamproite on our side of the property line is the same as the other side of the property line that had diamonds. It looks the same, and I believe there'll be diamonds in it, and we just wash through. If we washed 1,000 tons, we'd have a reasonable calculation of how many carats per 100 tons you could expect. So I'd love to wash 1,000 tons right now, but anyway, we washed 3 tons this past weekend. This is Monday, August 3rd, 2020, and I just got these out of the pit. We last night took the plow and went through and tore up some more lamproite so I could get to it to wash it. And this is just freshly broke out of the ground yesterday. It was all one solid hard rock before, but anyhow, lamproite, very unique rock type, very rare to have diamondiferous lamproite, and I'm pleased to be able to dig it up and show you what it looks like and tell you why it shows great promise for diamond content.